If your Beats are beginning to look like this, it might be about time to change the Earpads. So today I'm going to show you how you do this with things around your house. The tools you're going to need for this is a pair of scissors and tweezers. You may also want an old credit card or gift card. And of course, you're going to need a new pair of Earpads, which you can pick up for about $5. We're going to start by folding one of the sides in and then grabbing and opening our scissors. You're then going to want to find the space between the pad and the plastic layer. Make sure you don't go in between the two plastic layers, otherwise you might damage your beads. You're then going to want to put your scissors in between the two layers and try to separate it by pushing away from the body. If you're having trouble getting in between the two layers, you may want to use that gift card I mentioned earlier. Once you have a big enough gap, I would suggest closing the scissors and then prying like that. While there is a lot of force required here, you want to be especially careful that you're not breaking the plastic. So if it feels like you might be, stop and move to a different position. And remember, slow and steady always wins the race. Once you have the pad disconnected, make sure you gather up as much sticky tape as you can. If you're having trouble getting it off or you miss a little part, you can use your tweezers to just pull it off. Not removing these could result in an uneven seal in the new pads, which in turn can cause a weird airflow sound. Once you've done that, I suggest cleaning it with a wet paper towel or with a cleaning wipe. Not only will this help the new pad stick better, but it would also help to remove any residue you missed and that might mess up the seal. So now you fold in the side you've done and start working on the other one. For this, you do the exact same thing, so we're just going to skip over it. Once you've removed both ear pads, you're left with this very weird looking exoskeleton. And I can tell you, it's definitely not comfortable. So now that it's ready to be installed, what we have to do is find the sew line on the new pads. This will let us know that this is the bottom, since the top will have a more streamlined design. Once you've figured that out, next you have to remove this plastic layer protecting the seal. I found this rather difficult, so I ended up using the tweezers. Now that it's ready to be installed, what you have to do is line up the two holes on the cover to the pegs on the body of the beads. You then just want to quickly check and make sure you have that sewed line on the bottom and then try lining it up. For me, it really helped looking from the side so I could tell when the peg went into the hole. Once you've got it where you want it, I'd suggest squeezing it a little bit just to make sure it stays stuck in that position. And then you should place it on a hard surface so that you can really give it some force. Again, be careful here because you don't want to break it, and I might even suggest lying something down so you don't scratch them up. Once you feel like you've really got it on there pretty solid, next you can move over to the other side and do the exact same thing. This one's a little bit easier because you can use the charging port to help you line it up. Once you have both pads on there, your beads should look good as new.